Hi there, my name is Lo. Welcome to my channel where I discuss everything between Hermes and grocery bags. In today's video I want to review the large Etro Vela bag. This one is in the color Burgundy. I've had this bag for a couple of months and I've worn it about a handful of times. Not because I don't like it, but because I have a big bag collection and my bags are always under continuous rotation. However, there's not many reviews about this bag on the internet, and I've been requested by a couple of people to give some more information and my thoughts on this item. So that's what I'm going to do with you today. I'm going to start off with a brief introduction, do a little tour of the bag. We're going to talk about dimensions, weight, straps, the interior of the bag. I'm going to give you some mod shots, discuss what fits in it, and at the end of the video we'll be discussing pros and cons and my recommendation when it comes to the large Etro Vela bag. So let's get started. So this is the large Etro Vela bag in the color Burgundy. This particular one is in a smooth calfskin, but there's already a lot of different variations and materials out on the market. So you can get it in canvas, you can get it in raffia, you can even get it in wool. And there's also some nice leather options available, like a woven leather, which I think is really cool for this bag. But I went with the most classic and probably also the cheapest option, which is just the smooth calfskin. This bag comes in numerous different colors, a lot of them being more on the neutral side of things, like this burgundy. But by now they have also come out with some more pops of color, like green and pink, which look really nice, especially in the smaller size of this bag, because this is the large, but there's also a small and a medium. This particular item comes with gold hardware, and that's usually what you see on the Etro Vela bag, but when I checked online I saw that they now also have silver hardware options. This bag comes with a shoulder strap that I currently have attached and also a crossbody strap, so that makes it quite versatile. What is probably the most interesting thing about the Etro Vela bag is the opening. So it's sort of this kiss lock opening, I suppose you can call it, with these two pieces of metal hardware that interject with each other, and it makes the bag open up like this. If you want to close it back down, you basically have two options. So you could either put it through this ring, or you can also put it through the other ring if you need a bit more space at the top. Frankly, I've never worn it that way. I will always just close it down like this. So if you look at the front of the bag, it has this very interesting fold. The branding is very minimal. It has this charm on the closing that has a little Pegasus and it says Etro. The image is identical, so you can actually turn this thing around if you want to. Then on the back of the bag there is not much going on, no pockets or anything. Then you have the sides. You can clearly tell that this bag tapers up towards the top. Here you have the other side, and a great feature of this bag is that it does have feet on the bottom, and I think they've also added some extra strength to the base by adding an additional piece of leather. I just noticed that the other little piece of branding here on the front is that it also says Etro, but it's all very quiet luxury and very minimal. The design of this bag really drew me in. I think I've thought about a year before purchasing this bag because I wasn't really quite sure what it was going to look like, but the design of this bag is really intriguing. So then what are the dimensions? Well, this is the large size, evidently the biggest one that they have in the range, and it is indeed fairly substantial. So the width is 34 centimeters or 13.4 inches. The height is 26 centimeters or 10.2 inches, and the depth is 14 centimeters or 5.5 inches. The weight of this bag is approximately a kilogram, depending on whether you use the shoulder strap or the crossbody strap, and that equates to approximately 2 pounds. So this bag comes with two straps. I have the shoulder strap on here. Both of the straps are removable. Both of them are not adjustable. So let me just pull out the crossbody strap as well that I have in here. This is a very beautiful thick strap. Unfortunately, I really just only wear this bag as a shoulder bag. I don't like wearing it crossbody. It's too bulky in my opinion. But this strap is also truly beautiful. It does say Etro on here, but again, it's so quiet in that sense. It's hardly noticeable that there's any branding on the strap. So the drop length of the shoulder strap is 27 centimeters or 10.6 inches. I will insert some mod shots, but I would say that on the average person, this should be a very comfortable drop length to wear it over the shoulder. Perhaps good to notice, if you're wearing it over the shoulder, you cannot really put it under your arm directly because it kind of gets in the way with the closure and the depth of this bag. But as I will show you, I will move this bag a little bit to the back, and then it actually wears very comfortably over the shoulder. The drop on the longer strap is 50 centimeters or 19.7 inches, which for me, being 170 centimeters or 5'6" and generally a size large, is a really decent drop length for me. Then let's discuss the interior. Let me remove the dust bag, by the way, so you can see that. Not amazing quality, I have to say. I do have better dust bags, I think, for the price of this bag and the attention to detail and quality that they have put into this. They could have thrown in a better dust bag, but those are details. So the interior is going to be a bit challenging to see, but it is a suede interior, also made of calf skin. It is one big open compartment, but it does come with this little suede pouch that also says Etro. There's a little D-ring on the end, and that can be connected to this clasp that is on the inside. Personally, I have never used this, but I can imagine it can come in handy. Here is the tag that comes with it. I think they actually call this color red, but on the website I saw they call it burgundy. And then it also came with the care booklet. So then what fits in this bag? Actually a good amount, because it is after all a pretty big bag. So I've just grabbed a couple of more sizable items. This is a 500 milliliter water bottle that will easily go in there. Foldable umbrella. I would not per se recommend wearing this bag out in the rain, but just to show you it fits. So that can also still go on the base. I have an A5 notebook that's, I guess, could fit, but that's actually going to be a bit of a struggle. So you do have to take into account that the opening of this bag is fairly narrow. Then also you have some leather here on the inside that tapers in. So with some effort you can put the notebook in, but it's perhaps not really what I would recommend. Full-size wallet, kind of the same story. It's a bit on the wide end, so a bit of struggle to get in the bag. Sunglass case. So let's see if it still closes. Well, it will definitely close on the widest setting. On the narrowest setting, with some force, yes, but I wouldn't really recommend that. So let me remove the notebook. And then it's fine. So what I have in here now is a water bottle, an umbrella, a full-size wallet, and sunglass case. And I think that's it. And that would still definitely allow you to put in some additional bits and bobs. If you have any questions about specific items that you are wondering about would fit in this bag, just let me know either down below in the comments or reach out to me on Instagram. My handle will be in the description box. If you send me a message on Instagram, that makes it easier for me to either take a picture or take a video for you and help you decide whether this is a good bag for you, yes or no. So that already brings me to the part of the pros and the cons and the recommendation around this bag. So the main pro for me of this bag, and I think the thing that draws in a lot of people to this bag, is the aesthetic of it. What I really like about this bag is that it's something that I haven't really seen anywhere else. Yet on the other hand, I think that this bag will easily stand the test of time. Even though it is a very special silhouette, it does come across pretty classic. I guess that also has to do with this kind of almost kiss lock type of closure. It's sort of timeless and classic, and yet on the other hand really cool. That's what I got it, and that's the thing I like best about it. What I also like about this bag is the quality and the attention to details. The leather is really beautiful. The craftsmanship on this is amazing, and they've really paid attention to details like the pouch that you get on the inside with the little strap of leather, with the clasp on the base of the bag. On the interior it actually also says Etro. So again, it's just very low-key, like very demure. I feel like people can see that you're wearing something of high quality, but it's really the sort of if you know type of bag. Furthermore, I really like the size on this. I've also been wondering for a very long time what size I should get. Having had this bag and knowing what it fits, I think I could have also gotten away with the medium, but the small, that probably really would have been too small for me in terms of what I was looking for in that bag. I do have mini bags, but I already have so many of them that if I can reasonably price-wise opt for a bigger size, then that's the thing I would really want to do with a bag like this. But that also brings me to one of the cons of this bag, namely that there's there's a lot of loss in capacity. So not only does this bag taper up towards the top, because you also have this closure, you are basically losing most of the top capacity of this bag, and you will be mostly dependent on the space that you have at the bottom. So with a large size, this bottom is quite spacious, but as you were able to tell, it can be quite tricky to fit in some items that mostly have height and width to them, like a notebook, and not so much depth. So if you're thinking about items to wear in this bag, I would really mostly consider items that are about this tall. Those are going to fit perfectly. Whatever is taller than that might become a bit more challenging. Then the second thing that I want to mention is the clasp. Even though it is my favorite thing about the bag, it can be a bit fussy. It's going to be easy to open, but I have found occasions where I really needed both hands to close it up, sort of push it down into the form that it needs to have before I could actually close it. Definitely not super fussy, but sometimes does need two hands to close. So just be aware of that. Another thing that I was really curious about before getting this bag is whether the leather would crease, because there's so much folding going on in the front of the bag, and I can confirm this leather will crease. When I store it, I will always just have it open and will try to allow for the leather to stretch as much as possible. Here on the front, there's just all of these sort of round going creases from where the leather sits whenever it is closed. Although I really don't like creasing on leather usually, I don't really find it a problem all that much with this bag. You can see it, but I don't find it really noticeable in an annoying manner. It sort of feels as part of the bag and logical that it's going to happen. But again, something to be aware of, because if you really don't like creasing on smooth leather, this is not going to be the bag for you. Then I do also want to point out that this bag is quite structured. That's also, like I said, related to this base that does seem to have sort of an additional piece of leather or some strengthening to it. So this base really cannot be squished. The leather on this bag is just really thick, so that is also not very squishy. I think when I got this, I assumed to some extent that it was going to be a bit softer. Like I said, I also don't carry it really under the arm because it's too structured for that, but I'm not really sure to what extent that's going to be a problem for different people. And then the final thing I do feel like I need to point out in some extent is that at the end of the day, this is really quite an expensive bag from a not so well-known brand. So this bag does go on sale. I think I managed to buy this with around 55% discount, and I got it because I really like it. I love the way that it looks, and I expect it to be in my collection for a very long time, if not for forever. In terms of quality, it is also there. I feel like it's comparable to other high-end brands in the market, but it is Etro at the end of the day, and not one of the more popular or better known brands. So that's going to be a consideration to make for everyone by themselves. It's strange because to some extent I feel like it's worth it, and on the other hand I feel like a brand like Etro cannot be asking prices like this for their bags. I think that also brings me to my recommendation. This is a really beautiful bag, beautifully crafted, really nice quality, attention to details. I think you need to be an absolute fan of the design to get this. It is versatile, but I wouldn't necessarily get this because it's practical. If you love the design, I think you're going to enjoy it very much. I've just been having so much fun using this and opening and closing the clasp. It's very therapeutic to some extent, and the sound that it makes is just very like ASMR, I guess. So I enjoy it, and I hope to enjoy it for many years to come. But I would recommend that you try to find it either on sale or try to find it on the pre-loved market. But long story short, I am very happy with this. I think if you love the design, you can also get a lot of enjoyment out of this bag, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend getting it for any other reason than you loving the way it looks. So that brings me to the end of my review. If you have any questions for me about this bag, feel free to drop them down below in the comments and I'll get back to you. If this video was interesting or helpful to you in any way, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing to my channel. That's always much appreciated. I'll be back next week with a new video. For now, remember, there's a style and a situation and a taste for everything, so don't judge, wear whatever the bag you like. Until next time, and as we would say in Dutch, doei!